some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, the doo-dah day.
Yeah, that ends a bit more abruptly than what I wrote, but it'll do.
Oh, hey everybody! Welcome to the first stupid o'clock of the year.
Yay!
I was just looking, checking over some stuff, and we may not for the Saturday night, but the Thursday night show next week may be under snow.
Yeah, I got a warning from Josh today that I should be ready for anything past Sunday to be snow, rain, icy conditions, power outages, and whatever. And I'm going, good thing I bought that brand new gallon of lamp oil to refill all the kerosene lamps in the house.
Yep.
We're going to be lucky because for some reason our area will get less snow than the area south of us, I guess.
I think that's the way that the polar vortex just kind of dips too far beyond you.
Mm-hmm. So this time we might escape the bigger.
It's going to be too cold to snow up there.
Well, that could happen too. That has happened before here.
Yeah. Or it could be the winter of the big blue snow, and it's just even the snowflakes are complaining about how cold it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just saw that there's actually 2 storms going to be coming through in the next week or so.
Mm-hmm.
One to the north of us, and then the one that's going to come across on top of you, Dan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You may end up with more snow than we will, from what I'm seeing.
It's been a long time, but yeah, I may have to go out and finish the tin roof on the barbecue pergola just to protect stuff under there from snow.
Well, it'd be a good time to use that new wood burner you got out there.
Yep, I've got to finish putting the chimney pipe together. I think I figured out a way to make it go a little bit quicker, but I may have to use that high temperature spray paint that I got to cover up where the hose clamps scratch a little bit off as it puts the stovepipe together for me.
Yeah, well, I'd advise getting on it because that may be your only way to cook.
Well, if I don't get that done, I will turn the chimney around where the smoke is going out the back instead of off to the side and just give it a good old college try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do your cosmetic things later,
Hey, I can finish setting it up the way I want it. I ran out of warm days before I ever got to spray paint the clamps. I got to hold the chimney in place. Mm-hmm. So right now it's just one bit standing up where it's going to turn a right angle and then another right angle. That's where I needed the clamps.
Mm.
But
Well, I'm actually thinking of taking a little small heater out and putting in the yellow truck
mhm.
to have some heat on that roof. So if we do get a bunch of snow, the snow will melt off that roof and not crush it down.
Yep, that's a good
Yep.
idea. That's a good idea. Um, we've had ice storms and blizzards before. Um, I'm going to have to go down to the package store and lay in some supplies before the weekend
True.
because I am not walking 2 miles to the nearest gas station hoping that they've got electricity for the card reader.
I'm getting a little low on that, but I got plenty of bourbon, so we're gonna be good for a while.
Oh, I just ran out of rum today. I've got a bottle of bourbon I could open, but I don't want to because it's such a pretty bottle.
Oh, Dan, remember right before one of the Anachracons,
Yeah,
Atlanta had the ice storm?
I do. I also remember Thomas Williford driving down from where's he at? Indiana?
So right.
Somewhere around in there. He drove through it to get to Atlanta to sell stuff at the con. And I'm going, I know I haven't seen that many people at your booth. I'm going to buy something just because I'm grateful you showed up. I like your company.
But
Personally and his business.
yeah,
So
Carl,
I got the leather iPad folder that I brought to Halicon last year.
Oh, that was nice.
Oh, he does really good work.
Yeah, Carl, that ice storm was hilarious. People in Atlanta were panicking. They were stuck on the freeway for 14, 15 hours.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, if somebody doesn't drive on ice all the time, they forget. And even here, I mean, first ice storm of the year, everybody like, oh my God, what the hell? And like this happens every year, people. You know, you should be used to it. You should know it's coming, but no, they forget. And then the second ice storm, everybody slows down. They know what they're doing. They're like, okay, I remember this now. It's like you shouldn't have to be reminded. You live in, Illinois. We get ice and snow all the time in the winter, and we've been lucky so far. But that luck's about ready to run out, kids.
The hill I live on is steeper than that hill into the Econo Lodge.
Yeah.
And it's like 300 feet. Well, it's almost eighth of a mile to the bottom of the hill from my driveway.
Mm-hmm. By then, your brakes are worn out. You've been stomping on them till
you're just sliding down there. There ain't no way you're making that stop sign at the bottom. You're gonna go right through that intersection.
Oh yeah, you do.
Just honk all your way.
No, you just let off the brake and aim for the wide spots in the road, and hope the front wheels will bite.
What we used to do is we would have something like that, and then we know which way we were going. So you'd turn your wheels about halfway down the hill, and you'd end up going down sideways, and then you were ready at the end to take off in the direction you wanted to. But now, with the special brakes they have, and sometimes they'll have that special brake lock or something so it won't slide, and you're in trouble then. Yeah, that's right, Donna. That's
exactly what I plan to do, Donna. I'm going to stock up on stuff, and we've still got groceries from the last big grocery shopping trip that we took. I mean,
it's already starting to get cool out here. It was a struggle to get the Huskies to come in tonight.
Oh yeah, they're loving it.
I bet they are.
Yeah, I told Donna this time. I said next Sunday when I go shopping, think about things that we might run out of. and that we might not be if I don't make the next Sunday shopping trip, because it's not. It's going to get worse. I mean, it's not going to get better for a couple more months. So I told her I'm going to double up on 2 weeks worth of cat food, and she better think of, other things she needs, because may not be able to get out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm retired, I don't care if I get out or not. You know what I mean?
I'd really rather just stay at the house.
Mm-hmm.
But that does mean if I do have to run down the road after it snows,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be using the truck, because the van is front wheel drive. The truck is not.
Oh, yeah. Our weather guy, he's a funny guy. He puts up not just he'll have a regular thing like, okay, you guys are going to get 4 inches of snow, you guys are going to get 8 inches of snow, but he also puts up a map that says, okay, Chicago, you need bread and eggs now, and Central Illinois is okay, and Southern Illinois, you better get your bread and eggs. You're in a serious situation here, kids. So, he lets them know. And that really resonates with people. It's like, oh, shoot, I better go get my bread and eggs now.
Oh, yeah. Down here, it's bread, milk, and eggs. And I'm going, how did we get conditioned that every time it snows, we make a French toast?
I know. It's weird, isn't it?
We can have that anytime.
Well, and then, if you lose power somehow, you're going to be making your French toast over a fireplace or something.
Yeah.
We used to have one of the local morning DJs.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Luther Massengale.
Mm.
He worked at the same station for 71 years.
Oh.
So, he was a fixture in town. And one morning they woke up and there was a little bit of snow on the ground, and some of the local radio stations were calling, the superintendent.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, "Are y'all going to try to open today?" and all that. And he goes, "Yeah, we're really trying." Wait. Ah, damn it. Luther just closed us. That's how much power Luther had.
I definitely need the link to the Waffle House index. If they close a Waffle House near me, I'm walking wherever I got to go. I need to exercise.
Yeah. Well, back in the 80s, I was working at the mall, not in the mall actual, but one of the outlet shops. We had a Radio Shack there, and this was before they had codes. So someone called in claiming to be the mall manager and closed the entire mall during this blizzard. And I don't know if the statute of limitations is still out on that, so I won't say who it was. But anyway, they announced on the radio that the mall was closed. And then the idiot that actually ran the mall said, "Oh, no, the mall's open." So, of course, all the shoppers had to go out and get killed trying to get to the mall because they needed parts. I mean, what? People are dumb.
Oh, if you go to my main page, there's a guy who does, he's on YouTube, and he did the history of Waffle House.
Oh, I saw that today.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
It's good. The guy that founded Waffle House was part of the Manhattan Project.
Oh.
He said, he was telling the story. He said one day he was ordered to report to Knoxville, Tennessee. He goes, "What's going on?" "Don't worry about it. Get to Knoxville."
Get there.
Okay. Well, he was introduced to his partner once he got there, and they were to get in this truck. They were not to look in the back, and they were to drive to Los Alamos.
Okay.
In this amount of time.
Yeah.
On back roads.
Yeah. the truck is not to stop. One of y'all sleeps while the other one drives. And you're not to talk about what's in the back.
Yeah.
Come to find out, they were hauling plutonium from Oak Ridge to Los Alamos.
Sure. Yeah. What else? I mean, and Dan, I don't think they had highways in the 40s like that. So they were all
Route 66.
Route 66 would be the only one, and
Pretty much, yeah.
you almost had to hit that at some point. But
Well, they were told to stay away from any major highway along the entire thing, so they couldn't even use what was 75 down to Chattanooga.
no.
So they had to go pretty much just back roads, and
And they had 54 hours to do it. That's a drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with two people.
I mean, if you hit 40 and make that run, that's
It's 18 hours on 40 from Athens to Dallas Fort Worth. I know from experience.
from
And that's on a motorcycle following somebody with a radar detector. I got up just close enough to this girl in a Corvette where I could see the little red light from a radar detector through her back windshield, and I stayed back and I stayed ready to take evasive action if she ever hit the brakes, because I was definitely in the danger zone, but a little bit at the back end of it. I wouldn't want to do that in a car. But the bike is a whole lot more maneuverable, or it was when it still worked.
Yeah.
Oh, Michaela, what are you thinking of playing hooky for?
Yeah. I think she's thinking the weather.
Well, yeah, she should. I mean, but
there's not anything coming until next week. I wouldn't worry about it.
well, Josh said don't worry about nothing till Sunday, because that's when the cold air will get down here.
Yeah.
So it'll be affecting Carl and Michaela and Donna a whole lot quicker than it will us, but it's going to sweep right over them. It'll get cold as all get out, but
Yeah, I think we're in the safe zone as far as most of the snow will go south of us, is what they're predicting. So I think she'll be okay. Maybe 3 or 4 inches though. So if she leaves the house at 4:30, she might get a little bit of something. But getting home is the problem.
yes.
That's
the picture I'm looking at right now, starting in Oklahoma, right across the state line of Oklahoma and Missouri, right across the top of the state line of Tennessee, Kentucky's going to get covered. But, pretty much that line, the state lines of Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky is all, north of that's where it's all going to go.
You see what Donna said?
Yes. As I have once said to a female acquaintance, 'tis a small thing, but mine own.
You made me laugh there.
I had one girl look at me and says, "Who the hell are you going to please with that?" And I said, "Me."
Ouch.
I would say you got your priorities in order, but
You always hope for a repeat performance or something,
Really.
We dated for 3 months.
I've had entire relationships that weren't that long. So, of course, I was usually the one that said, "No, this is too much crazy even for me."
Mm. Yeah, sometimes. I know guys that like the crazy women for a while. You know, my cousin, for some reason, he just would go out after one after another. The one time one came after him with a sword and nearly skewered him to the floor as he was trying to escape. It's like, did you learn anything? No, no. He right back on the crazy horse next time.
There's a certain level of crazy that is fun,
Mm-hmm.
but that level is easily exceeded.
Yeah, because you ask the guy, why are you dating that crazy woman? Because she's crazy. Yeah. Doesn't always translate it the way you hope.
Mm.
Now, I did date one girl, and she convinced me to go to church with her. I saw, she was hot.
I had one of those too.
But when this guy in white gloves leans over and spreads my legs apart, and this guy comes underneath the pew going, crawling under the pews, I had to go.
Generally, when they start speaking in tongues, they're only about 2 stages away from bringing out the rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
So,
And the arsenic. Have a drink.
No, thank you.
The Lord will protect you from the arsenic.
Yeah,
I don't eat enough apples to be building up a tolerance to that.
Mm-hmm.
My stomach, I told her, honey, my stomach's hurting. I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. She knew I wasn't coming back when that Trans Am hit Hicks and Pike sideways.
Yeah.
And I was already in third gear coming out of the parking lot. I never looked back, Carl.
No, I wouldn't either. I'd just keep on moving because, if those are the people she hangs with, she's. Yep.
Well, these folks make the Jehovah's Witnesses look sane. So,
I rescued a woman one time at the mall. Her car wouldn't start, and I looked at her, and I'm like, she's got a little kid with her, and I'm thinking, oh man, okay, I'm gonna offer her a ride. So I took her to her house, so she could, call somebody later to pick up her car or whatever. And she says, "You are a good Christian man." I said, "Well, not exactly." And she says, "Oh, okay. Well, you're a good Jewish man." I said, "Yeah, that's good enough." I didn't want to blow her whole, her whole philosophy and religious.
The beard kind of adds to the stereotype.
I didn't have the beard at the time, but
okay.
This was before I met Donna, even. But then she invited me to her church, and she mentioned the name of it, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not going there."
Was it Pentecostal?
Huh?
Was it Pentecostal?
It was the Rock Church here in town, and I'm not sure exactly. It's Pentecostal and plus. So I was like, no. If anybody was going to speak in tongues, they'd probably do it there. And I'm like, yeah, no, thanks.
Yeah, you're in trouble when you get to the church, and it's not even a double wide trailer.
You're a cult. You got a cult going on there.
There were more people speaking in tongues around me in that building than there was in college when we had foreign exchange students.
There you go. And Michaela's right. You just say, "I'm glad you think so," and you move on. That's exactly what you do.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Glad to help out. I've got to get back to where I need to be.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, the okay, that's where that's coming from. Okay, I had another window open and I was confused.
Okay.
I heard email notifications. It's like, I don't have my email open. I had a whole new window going.
Did you read that post someone made about this company, and they didn't really have a customer service exactly, but they were trying to use AI as their customer service, and it couldn't help people either with their questions. So it actually it rickrolled them, and it would tell them, "Oh, here, maybe this will help," and it actually AI rickrolled them. And I thought, these people that say AI won't take your job are wrong, because AI is already trying to take Joe Dog's job.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, that is scary.
Yeah.
Now, I had this Jehovah Witness I worked with.
Uh-oh.
I hung him up one day.
Uh-oh.
I left him to where he couldn't answer.
Uh-oh.
You know, he was giving me the sales pitch.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, now, let me get this right. You know, the Christians sort of believe, if you believe in Jesus and believe he's a savior and all this, you're in. Well, yeah. I said, but you only believe 144,000 are going to make it in?
Mm-hmm.
I'll play my odds. I'll stay with the Christians.
Yeah, exactly. The odds are better. You guys are playing the lottery, and I don't want to play with you.
Hey, that's even stricter percentages than you'd get in Vegas.
Yeah. I always thought, you may not be one of the ones, so it would make it hard to get new people in, because you'd be thinking, this guy could take my place if he's better. Mm-hmm. I better only find really bad.
Oh yeah. And I also brought up, I said, there's over 20 million of y'all in the Jehovah Witness group. He goes, yeah. I said, and only 144,000 getting in. Mm-hmm. I don't like those odds. I'll go with the Christians.
Yeah.
No.
It's like, you could see him want to say something.
Mm-hmm. With the logic.
Yeah. Now, Lindsay's a Adventist, and their nearest church to us is almost 50 miles away, and she didn't want to drive that far every Saturday because they have their services on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, there's a Jehovah's Witness right down the road.
Uh-oh.
She could damn near walk there. So she went just to try him out a little bit. I mean, she knows the history. She's researched everything.
Night, Michaela.
Good night, Michaela. And
she's got
one of the first things they tried to do was tell her that she needs to sell off all of my worldly goods and then divorce me and then marry some boy they picked out for her.
Ooh,
who was like half her age.
Oh my, that's a deal.
Mean, a boy. Couldn't even shave yet.
God, oh man.
Yeah, I guess that flew real well with Miss Lindsay.
Especially when one of the ladies that was nice to her at the Kingdom Hall took off with all kinds of videotapes of British mysteries and sitcoms, and then they never reappeared.
Ooh.
And now we see some of the people from the witnesses in the grocery store, and they're totally blind. They can't see us. We don't exist.
Right.
We got shunned. I'm going, whoa, that's good.
You don't know how the favor you're doing to us.
Yeah, really. I wish I'd been able to pull this job with the Mormon guys that keep coming out. They're nice guys, but
if you never want to see somebody, just loan them some money and you'll never see them again. I've learned that lesson.
Well, Donna has a brother. The best way to get rid of him is hand him a $20 bill when he shows up. He stays on for 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, whatever works.
And whenever they ask about coming over, you say, you got that $20? Oh, you know what? That day we aren't going to be there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now,
I created a storm of comments by posting that I'm going to be more picky about who I help, because if a person's trying to help themselves and they're working along and you're seeing where, okay, they've got a real goal in mind, okay, you don't mind helping that person out to get to that goal maybe. But I've seen a lot of people who are just like some of my clients I had before when I was counselor. They just love the drama. They just thrive on the chaos, and they always have something going on. And it's like you help them, and then you got to help them again, and it's like no, not gonna.
No, there's only so many times you can do that before you say, "Got to cut my losses."
Yeah.
I just found out just being mean and grumpy to everybody. And
yeah, that's my New Year's resolution.
Everybody equally.
Yeah, that's my New Year's resolution, to be more like that.
And then after a while, Dan, you realize how much fun it is that you start looking for ways to be mean and crabby.
I don't need to look. I have the ancestral playbook. The church that my grandmother took us to is Dyed-in-the-Wool Southern Baptist in East Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some of the most hellfire and damnation preachers I have ever heard. I mean, their oratory powers were tremendous. It's no wonder so many of them go into politics. They don't have any further challenges.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, and while we're talking about beliefs, we can't talk about the Tom Cruise church because I don't want to get sued.
No,
I don't see any reason to talk about the Tom Cruise church.
Talk about that.
Talk about.
I have heard
that's way too crazy.
I have heard that if you mention them by name, that people will start tuning into your shows.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And if you talk bad, they'll sick the lawyers after you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, Joe.
Evening, gentlemen.
How you doing?
A little blurry.
Well, I shouldn't be.
Oh, you've got the blur background on there. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. It was blurring you there for a second.
Shouldn't be blurry. He's probably had nothing to drink yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
About damn time, ain't it?
Thank you, Dan. You're right. It's about damn time. We'll have a shot.
Reverse Scrooge foe for the new millennium. Oh,
since we got Nick here, I found a true cryptid. The kangaroos.
A kangaroo?
Yeah. They're actually a British rabbit that got sent down to the penal colony.
About 30,000 years earlier than anybody else, but yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, have you seen some of those kangaroos?
I've seen several different species, yeah.
I mean, they're jacked.
Oh yeah. They got to do nothing else but fight each other out there.
Oh yeah.
Nothing else to do in the outback, but they would drink and fight, but they can't drink because there's little arms, can't get.
They'll find a way. They're Australian. Somebody in Australia invented bowls. I'm very sure.
Put a can of Foster's in front of one. We'll see whether or not they
yeah, Foster's.
Yeah,
Canadian for beer.
I would hate to see a kangaroo drunk.
When my brother was a cop here in town, one time he got a call that there was a kangaroo loose. Oh, they break into bars. Okay, well then there you go. I don't want to see a drunken kangaroo. Holy crap, that would be.
Well, not up close, but if Marlon Perkins was still around, we'd probably have a documentary or two.
So we need to get a hold of the writers of Sharknado because now I want to see Drunken Kangaroo versus Cocaine Bear.
Oh,
Oh,
Um,
have you
you might be able to
heard
see
about
that
the
on my
cocaine
Aussie Man.
pigs yet?
Yeah, you might be able to see it on one of those Aussie Man videos. That would
Or
be about the only place you'd see one.
Drunken kangaroo versus emus.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've got a peace treaty.
When my brother was on the force,
That's only because the kangaroos can't catch them.
that's right. When my brother was on the force, this lady calls in. She says, "There's a kangaroo loose. It's in the field next to my house." And he's like, "Okay." He's thinking, "How the hell would a kangaroo get into Central Illinois? We don't have any zoos nearby. So he drives down there. Yeah, he finds a deer. It was a Chicago transplant, a gal from Chicago that moved down, and she didn't know what a deer looked like. She assumed it was a kangaroo.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the kind of intellect I got around me, folks. So
Well, just up the road from Dan is probably the largest kangaroo reserve outside of Australia.
really,
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Dawsonville.
somebody in the neighborhood has about 5 camels
Ooh.
and a couple of mules and donkeys and whatnot. They take them to the church for the nativity
Oh, okay.
every year. And the camels are just sitting out there freezing to death.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they want to make my wife one of those angels, and they put her in a bucket lift so she can deliver the oratory from on high. And she had enough of that.
Yeah. Well, then, Dan, you're in a unique position to test out the drunk camel versus drunken kangaroo.
No, thank you. They take trespassing real seriously down here.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
They don't even call 911. They just start to reenact a Civil War battle.
did y'all hear the guy from Nickelback used to go to, while they were out on tour, would go do nativity scenes during Christmas?
No, which guy? The lead singer?
The lead singer,
Okay.
he would, played all sorts of the different roles, but he's retired out.
Is this a joke?
He never could make it as a wise man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Why do we even trust anytime you open your mouth?
I know. He posted something just tonight, and I was like, I'm not clicking it. It looks real tempting, but I'm not clicking it.
Which one?
It was a very pretty African American gal with a lot of piercings on her, and she was.
Oh yeah, you got to watch that. You got to watch.
Oh, I'll be rickrolled. I know it.
No, it's not a rickroll.
Okay, I'll let somebody else watch it first. See, this is another one of my resolutions. Let somebody else watch Joe Dog's video first.
Joe,
That's what we have Chris for.
Poor Chris.
No, the girl's talking
He's
about
the parakeet in the coal mine.
about getting her first Brazilian wax.
Oh shit. Okay. Can I say that? Whoops. Okay.
I guess Joe's already watching it.
No, actually, I'm not.
Hey, Donna's
But
right.
have you seen the one? Have you seen the video, Joe Dog, of the girl that went to get the Brazilian wax and didn't think about it and rode her motorcycle?
Oh.
Here's even better. It's a crotch rocket.
Susie, I'm gonna need you to come pick me up.
And bring a truck because I got to get my bike back to the house so when I can actually walk again.
Lay me in the back. I'll lay there and just let the wind cool everything. Oh. Now Donna's right that you don't want to mention Foster's beer in Australia because you'll be in trouble.
Yeah, you don't. If you're going to a bar in Australia, just ask for beer. Whatever they hand you is going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be better than what you get here. That's
And unless you did something to piss them off before they know, I mean,
no, yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, if you have not seen the Great Emu War,
yeah,
you wanna search for Puppet History Emu War
Mhm.
because that kills me every time I see it. I can only watch it every 6 months. It's hilarious.
well, I mean, you got to hand it to them though. Emus and kangaroos are the only things on Earth that have ever defeated an Australian army,
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
and they had machine guns. Not
Yeah.
the emus and the kangaroos,
Oh, yeah,
but
right. Oh, they might
nowadays
as well
they
have
might. I mean,
They might as well have had because they beat them good. They thought, well, we can beat the rabbits, we can beat the emu, right? No.
no, that is a descendant of a prehistoric carnivorous bird. Uh,
Yeah.
Emus and ostriches will kill you.
Mhm.
And chase you down to do it.
Yeah. At high
And
speed. Yeah, that was funny
kangaroos
when they were
will just
talking about
take
the
you under
guys.
the table and take your wallet.
They were talking about the guys in the Jeep with the machine gun on the back of the Jeep, and they were trying to race the emus to shoot them with the machine gun. It's like, no, not gonna work.
But now we know why they created that old TV show, The Rat Patrol.
Emu Patrol.
Yes, Nick.
Oh,
And when I was in New Mexico, we drove by a field with a prize-winning steer in the field, a herd of antelope in the field, and a cassowary standing in the corner daring anybody to come near it. And the bull was not having any of that. No.
They move fast.
Yeah, they do. And
There's no way a bull can turn around fast enough to beat a cassowary.
That reminds me of the joke of the farmer and the DEA agent.
Oh
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Show him your badge.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
Warned you. Then there was the other farmer that went down to his pond with a bucket, and the girls were swimming. And he goes, "I'm just here to feed my alligator.
Mhm.
Got a free show."
That reminds me of Tom. My friend, his family had a farm down in Ringgold, Georgia. And we would go camp on the farm, pure boondocking. We woke up one morning to a cow in our tent.
They're curious. They're curious little animals.
Steve Irwin did not mess around with cassowaries. That says something. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, there are a few ostriches and emus here in my county because some of the chicken farmers had heard that somebody was building a processing plant just for that kind of thing. And then when it turned out it was in the middle of Arkansas and it cost more and the food would be spoiled by the time it got back, they just turned them loose in the woods. So you could be walking out in the woods, and believe me, coyotes and bear are not the thing you need to be worried about.
God.
Hey, coyotes don't fuck with the ostriches.
No. There's
the first time they come up on, it's like, ooh, big chicken. Oh, big chicken got legs.
Nick, right? There's
Chicken got big claws.
there's some farms that in southern Illinois here that had some emus, and some of them got loose, and one of them was loose for over a year before they caught her. She was a clever girl. She was just out there, and I don't know what she ate, but I don't even want to think about it. You know,
anything she wanted.
Yeah, pretty much. She didn't have any natural enemies except people, and they finally caught the last one. But
have you ever seen the videos of chickens going after rats and mice?
Yeah.
I mean, we know chickens had to be descended from velociraptors or the T-Rex. I mean, the way they go after a rat.
Well, rats will eat their eggs, so they're natural enemies.
That's territorial right there.
Oh yeah. They will tear a rat apart if they can.
Oh, they'll fight over
in numbers, and you get more than 5 chickens on a rat, and its days are numbered.
It's an ex-rat by that point.
They fight over it.
And Nick, I believe there were some coyotes in the woods behind my house last night because German Shepherd kept wanting to go outside, and she would run off into the dark in the chain link fence. She did not want to come out, and every time or come back in the house. Every time she came back in, she wanted to go right back out, and fur was bristling. She was just on high alert. So I'm thinking we had some of the local coyotes back there. Wouldn't have been the bear because that would have been big enough to frighten her to come back in the house quicker. And it wouldn't have been the deer because they think she's one of them.
Yeah,
she's almost the same size.
Her fur wouldn't bristle for a deer.
No. That'd be friend. Well, friend shaped anyway.
Have you ever heard Bill Engvall's coyote story?
Yeah.
Had the little pug or what, French poodle or whatever it was out in the yard, and a coyote ran over and grabbed it, and then his German Shepherd hit it. Came from behind him and hit the. And then a couple of days later, it's like they're all gathered out in the front yard, and Wanderer's going, "No, don't do it. It's a trap. It's a trap." Ask Billy.
Yeah. As soon as he gets out of the emergency room. Yeah. We had a small pack of them in the backyard once, and that was before we got the German Shepherd. We had a poodle and a beagle, and they just went on high alert from inside the house. So I got my headlamp with the red lens on it, and I got my I don't know if I should say that, but I'm going to anyway. I got my Colt 45 Army and made sure there was a round in the chamber. And I walked outside, and I went back behind the barn and just let my eyes adjust to the dark, and then turned on the red lens on the headlamp, and I could see about 24 eyeballs staring back at me. So I'm thinking 6 coyotes at a minimum.
Yeah.
And then the wind shifted to where it was from behind me, and they went, "Human, go!"
Yeah. Because they've learned humans around here have those boomstick.
Yeah, I would have hated to have to shoot any of them, but if they started charging, I was going to empty that clip.
Yeah. Well,
usually a shot over their heads will take care of that.
That was not the way I was trained. They know the smell of freedom grease. Yes. 3-in-1 oil. That's what it smells like.
Y'all would love my dogs. These things protect us from birds across the street,
Mm-hmm.
leaves blowing down the road.
Yeah.
But don't make a freaking peep when Walmart delivers groceries on the front porch.
Oh my God.
I'm going, guys, that would be the time that you make noise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They probably figure, hey, he's bringing some food. I'm not going to bother with him. Yeah.
Oh, every UPS driver that comes out here, they carry dog biscuits
Yeah.
in their pocket.
Smart.
They all do. They all do. That's what my son-in-law does.
Mm-hmm.
And at work, at UPS, they've got this huge bucket of dog biscuits,
Mm-hmm.
and they're encouraged to get a big pocket full.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If nothing else, if you got an aggressive dog, if you shake the dog biscuit and throw it towards them, they go, "Oh, it's food. Okay, I guess they're all right."
I saw somebody posted a video where the dog actually went out to greet the driver.
Oh yeah,
happy, like, hey, this is my buddy. He gives me biscuits. Yeah.
Oh, and that's. I wish that Amazon had never made that deal with the U.S. Postal Service about taking over from UPS or FedEx or DHL to make deliveries. Lindsay ordered 4 jars of pickled onions.
Oh, yes.
They wrapped them up in bubble wrap and then put them in a plastic bag. And when they got here, one of the jars was broken. I said, honey, don't even try to run that through a sieve or something to get the glass out of it. We're just going to throw that one away. And I took pictures of her opening the package, and she filed a this product was broken report. And the company she got the pickled onions from gave her a full refund for all 4 jars.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. And I mean, they need to specify bubble wrap, paper, cardboard box,
yeah,
breakable on the outside.
No. You don't say anything's breakable.
Well,
it's like a challenge.
Yeah. Liquid inside they take care of because they don't want that. They don't know what that shit's going to smell like, and they don't want it in their truck.
They don't know what liquid. Yeah, we got it. She got a calendar the other day. Plain as day on the envelope. Do not fold. What do? They bend it and stick it in the mailbox.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I heard them pull away, so I got out there real quick and went to the mailbox, pulled it out, and kind of warped it the other way a little bit. And on my way back to the house, and that's not a long walk. I mean, we're really close to the road. And thankfully, it was not damaged.
Cool.
But
when we lived on a rural route, we got the big ass mailbox we could because we got a lot of packages, and I wasn't taking any chances with them bending stuff,
Around here, kids drive around and put M80s in the mailbox and put a stick through the little hole that keeps the door shut. And they try and blow them apart. There's a couple of people that have taken to, they will build a brick pillar with their mailbox inside, and all it does is open the door. Had one set of kids that got arrested at an emergency room because they were driving around with a 8-foot 2x4 sticking out of the windows of the car, trying to knock mailboxes over. And they ran up against one of those folks that had the concrete FFA mailbox stands, and they didn't hit the mailbox; they hit the concrete and wound up severely injured.
Yeah.
And the cops managed to find the broken glass. No, yeah, we're looking for a damaged car,
Uh-huh.
and
And some damaged kids.
it went well. They were damaged before they started this stuff. But no, they went to the emergency rooms and found somebody that was missing their teeth that had a car with broken glass.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I know it's one guy.
messing with a mailbox is a federal crime.
Mm-hmm.
That is not some you're gonna get juvenile hall for.
Right.
I know one guy set his mailbox up with, like that. He's found many aluminum ball bats laying in the road.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy went one better. He got old lightning rods, aluminum lightning rods, and welded and twisted it together where it was really, really decorative. So that when they drove by and hit the mailbox, all it did was fold the damn thing over. Next time we went to the mailbox, we just straightened it back up again. Frustrated them to no end.
Well,
Daddy just left.
the guy up behind us took an 8-foot piece of 2-inch pipe and buried it,
Mm-hmm.
and then poured the center full of concrete.
Mm-hmm.
I have
That's
threatened to do that a time or two.
Hey,
And Lindsay's going, no, don't do that. Next person that has a car wreck and tries to take out the mailbox is going to sue. I'm going,
No, you don't think they can.
I don't know. That nobody that hits the sweet gum tree that I wanted to cut down has ever tried to file a lawsuit against us. I mean, seriously, it's off the verge. It's not on county property because it's far enough from the road.
Yeah.
I'm going, if that tree hadn't been there, we'd have probably been looking at getting some body damage repairs on every car we've got because he would have went right up the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
But that tree, I want to get rid of it, but I'm not going to because that's our savior tree right there.
Yeah, that's part of your fence, your defense fence.
Yeah. And the damn thing's about 2 foot thick at the base and a good 70 or 80 feet tall.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Dan and Joel know what this is, but Carl, do you know what a chip seal road is?
A chip field road?
Chip seal.
Oh, yeah. We've had those before around here. Yeah.
The city of Chattanooga thought that one of they're not like the second busiest side road in the city. They got tired of patching potholes, so they chip sealed it.
Oh.
And it has this nice rise that goes up and then a sweep to the left.
Okay.
This guy, a little past inebriated one night, doing about 90 down the road.
Holy moly. Okay.
Tried to make this turn, goes straight off and hits the corner of a house. He moves the house 3 feet.
Oh. What was he driving?
Dodge
Something
Ram.
big.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
something big.
And he hit it on the low. He didn't hit the wall. He hit the corner with the seal, the heavy structural part. Shifted the whole house. The city ended up having to pay to have the house rebuilt.
The city did?
Yeah.
Because of the road?
Because of the road. Yeah, so they solved that problem. They put asphalt on it.
Yeah.
And rebanked the road.
Yeah.
It sounds like they didn't do the chip seal correctly.
No.
How do you chip seal over the top of asphalt?
Do it all the time here in Indiana. A little bit of oil and then the chip seal over the top, and you brush off the excess.
It might be a difference in the weather though, because ours will get winter hardened, and
well, the city also.
It almost sounds like they use too much oil, or they tried to put oil over the top. Also,
yeah.
Well, no, they put a layer down on top of the chip on top of the asphalt, oiled, and then chipped across the top.
Okay, that's where they went wrong.
Yeah.
And the city ended up having to pay for hundreds of windshields.
Wow.
Yep, that's where they went wrong. You put your binder down first.
Well, this was an existing asphalt road that had been cured for years and years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah, NDOT will chip seal a road a couple times sometimes, just because it's not a, majorly traveled road.
Oh, this is a majorly traveled road.
Yeah, see, that was a mistake right there. They were just being cheap and didn't want to do it right.
Oh, and then even NDOT will do that with some of the with some of the highways here in the state. They finally quit doing it here in Lake County altogether because we have far too much heavy traffic coming through here to, they chip seal it and it just goes all to hell real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Highway 58 up here, they went in, milled it, chip sealed, and then paved.
Well, that works. But why?
I'll wait for Joe's opinion.
They heavy oil chip sealed.
Okay.
Which got down into all the cracks.
Yeah,
you could do it, but I don't like why. I mean, if you're going to put asphalt over it anyway, why not just do the asphalt? I mean, that just doesn't.
If they had major cracking, I could see that.
It was bad cracked.
Yeah, if it had some sizable cracks, I could see doing that because that oil will get down in there. That chip seal layer will help kind of provide a protective layer.
Yeah.
It's almost like how NDOT has started doing polymeric overlays on bridges. And Illinois, I don't know if it's Illinois or just specifically Chicago. When Chicago redoes a bridge on one of the interstates, well, I should say, or IDOT redoes a bridge on one of the interstates. Within the next year, they come back through and do a polymeric overlay because you put a layer of epoxy down, and it just helps seal that bridge even more.
Okay.
Well, when I say it was cracked up, I mean we're talking half-mile sections that were Gator Road.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Gator crack.
Jeez.
And they really didn't want to dig it all out to redo it.
Yeah.
And that's about the best Band-Aid they could put on it, honestly.
Before you throw the new asphalt on top.
Yeah. Yeah, because just milling it and then doing your tack layer, that's not going to really help at all.
I mean, you could actually see the emulsion flowing.
Yeah.
They heavy coated.
Yeah. No, that actually makes sense. If it's got major cracking like that, to do a heavy oil, add your chip seal over the top of that, and then tack and put your
asphalt
down.
Well, especially if you're not going to dig out the old. I mean,
And chip seal isn't all that thick to begin with. I mean, you're only putting down
quarter inch.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
So it's small enough that if it doesn't bind, adhere to the asphalt and it comes loose, you wouldn't even feel it driving across it.
Well, another problem of my place is we're in the middle of a series of S curves.
Mm-hmm.
And one of Lindsay's friends at church is one of the richest people in the county and has a little bit to do with the county government. So he had him put up a yellow 45-mile-an-hour sign before the S curve. Before that, they didn't have a speed limit sign in here, which in Georgia is, hey, if you don't have a speed limit sign, it's 55 or less. Don't go above 55. But a lot of people have been driving this road since they got home from World War II, or children before it was fully paved all the way through. So they just go as fast as they feel like going. And then we have a couple of people that are in the police department where they believe speed limits are mere suggestions.
That's for the hoi polloi. That's not for police.
Yeah, well, we always, before we pull out the driveway, we check both ways several times, and then we wind up. There was one guy in a white pickup truck, even bigger than the one I've got now, and I would pull out and start to accelerate the van a little bit, get around the next curve, and this guy be right there on my bumper. Pissed off that I wasn't doing 70 in the 45 zone.
Yeah. There's always one.
I'm going, look, you got all that engine. Feel free to go around. It's not a double yellow line from here to the top of the hill. You can see what's coming just as well as I can. Go for it. But he'd always just park on my trailer hitch, basically.
And Joe, we did something also a little different with chip sealing down here.
Okay.
River sand.
Really?
Excuse me, I'll be right back.
Non-skid.
Yeah.
Cuts down, on roads that when it gets wet, turn into.
Oh,
they would put river sand down. Roll it in and everything. Of course, the only thing is, after about 10, 15 years, the chip seal, the oil will just turn loose from the asphalt.
Yeah.
So you have these nice smooth spots with the rough roads from the sand. And it would come up in sections.
Yeah, but after another 10 to 15 years, it should be slated for repaving anyway, so.
There's some I put down at the city that's still on the road that went down in the 90s.
Jesus Christ.
Early 90s.
Well, I could see that with the city, I guess. Because they're not going to have the funds that state would for repaving.
Oh, we used to get a state street aid and federal street aid. So, some neighborhoods never got paved, and some neighborhoods got paved every 10 years, whether it needed it or not. Of course, there were $1 million mansions all up and down that road.
Yeah. Yeah, we get state aid here. It's what NDOT calls their community crossings grant. And it's basically, with a town our size, it's a 80-20 split. Either 80-20 or 75-25. I can't remember which. Where we have to pay the 20. I think it's 25%. We pay the 25. And which is still, I mean, for repaving a road, that's a hefty chunk of change.
Oh yeah.
25%. But a lot of times, Lake Station or Hobart will piggyback on ours with a couple of roads that they need done. That way they only have to pay the 25%. And then they normally kick us a little bit extra to be able to get one additional road segment paved. And it still comes out cheaper for them. Because they actually, I think they have to do a 50-50, either 50-50 or 60-40 split.
Wow.
Due to their size.
And we developed a salt brine trade with the little towns around Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
You would get one truck full of salt brine for one truckload of salt.
Oh, okay.
But you can get like 4 truckloads of salt brine out of one truckload of salt.
Yep.
But we had a system set up to where we could mass produce the salt brine.
Yep, that's what NDOT has. That each main sub-district has a salt brine mixer, and that's where all the units go. For that sub they'll send their tankers over, load them up, bring them back to their yard. They've got tanks there, and we'll fill those tanks. That's something I would love to see our town get. I'd hate to know the fucking cost of it.
We built our own.
Yeah, but I would love to see our town get that and get a little. It wouldn't have to be a big brine truck because we're not huge. Put a bladder in the back of a pickup and poke a hole in it and let it drain as you drive along. Really, because
that's all a salt brine truck does.
Yeah. The ones that we have at NDOT, the actual tankers, they got sprayers off the back, but we even had sprayers on we had brine tanks on our regular trucks. We were supposed to run brine as we salted because it would help get that brine to stick to the road and activate it, but it didn't work so well on the interstate, so we were exempt as interstate drivers. But half the trucks, the brine sprayer didn't work, and they tell you, oh, just crack open the cap a little bit and just let it trickle out. Yeah, no, I ain't doing that. How much brine do you use tonight? Use the full tank. Or he loaded it back up for the next guy too.
I kept telling them here, all right, you got us out doing the salt and sand. We actually use sand down here.
We do too.
Salt and sand. I said, once the traffic gets on it and starts slushing it up, get a plow truck in here and get the shit pushed off the road.
Yep.
No, traffic will kick it off the road.
No, it won't.
Just make
then finally somebody from up north came down to give us, instructions on how to do this stuff. And he said, and the next thing you need to do is get a plow truck about 30 minutes after to come through and push the slush off the side of the road and got all that. And I looked straight at the bosses and said, who would do something stupid like that? And they're like, I don't ever remember you saying anything like that. Of course not, because I'm a dumbass and you don't listen to anything.
We had I was doing a project on I-65. It was right before I left NDOT. I was helping out on this project, and we were getting ready to reopen the bridge finally. And we went through, it's middle of winter, and we're trying to get all the snow and shit cleared off the areas that haven't been driven on because the bridge was closed. So it's all ice and compacted and, from the construction traffic and everything else. And the contractor's playing hell trying to get it cleared because they don't have that type of equipment, And the project manager's sitting there. He's like, I don't know what the hell we're going to do. I said, give me a minute. Let me make a phone call. So I called up the head of the Gary sub. I'm like, Bruce, we're trying to get 65 back open. I know you want 65 back open. Your drivers want 65 back open. I need to borrow a truck and a load of salt. Oh, yeah, I'll have someone pull one around and just come down and pick it up. All right, cool. Go down, talk to the crew leader. I'm like, just make sure it's the good blue salt. I have, this is hard packed. I need it to break up quick, get it cleared off. So he sends one of his little minions out, one of the idiots, and he brings the truck around. I hop in, take off for 65. I'm spreading. I'm like, God damn, is that spreader not working? So I got a little closer to the wall, and I can hear the salt hitting off the wall. God damn it, this idiot gave me a load of just plain white salt.
Mm-hmm.
And they always say, oh, there's no difference between the blue and the white.
Yeah, there is.
A bullshit.
There's something in that blue salt. I don't know what it is.
I don't either. And anybody who says there is no difference, you have never driven and plowed with both.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, it makes a difference when you're doing the sand salt mix. But
yeah, I don't know what it is.
So I go through, I run through this whole truckload of salt, and I'm not making any headway. I go back over to Gary. I pull up the crew leader. I said, look, dude, I am just this side of needing a hot load to actually break this shit up.
Mm.
I want the blue salt that I know you have in that salt dome. He's like, Carney boy didn't put it in there? I said, no, he didn't put it in. He loaded it up with white. He goes, God damn it. He goes, give me the keys to the truck. I'll be back. He comes pulling back around. I got this big old just turtle shell on the back, just humped with blue salt.
Mm-hmm.
The leaf springs on this truck are crying because it's so overloaded.
They're straight.
Oh, they're straight and starting to bow the opposite way.
Wow.
He goes, think that'll do you? I said, oh yeah, that'll do just fine. Got back out there. I had everything cleared up in about half an hour.
Mm.
That blue salt. I don't know what it is. I don't know
whatever chemical additive that is. I don't know if it's extra calcium, extra chlorine. I don't know. But it just it makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's got to be something to it because I think it is more expensive.
It is. I do remember that.
So it's, if there's no difference between the two, then why the hell is it more expensive?
Right.
My favorite one though, this was actually this was the year after I left NDOT. They were doing their snow and ice training, which as a plow driver, you have to go through every single year.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some of these plow drivers that have been going through the same snow and ice training for 20 plus years. And it's the same shit every year.
Yes.
And safety that year was trying to say, if a truck is unsafe, you can down it. And the whole room went, you're going to back us on that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, we're behind you 100%. They go, so what about if it's got a CO2 leak? well, there's really no way to detect that and this and that, and several people pulled out their phone, went on Amazon, found CO2 detectors for vehicles, and went, I can get one next day for like $15.
Now, were you talking about putting calcium chloride salt in water inside tires to help you maintain control of the truck on an icy road?
Oh no, that's what the plow's for.
Oh, okay. We used to have to do that with the tractor for basically added traction.
Yeah.
So the back tires would be about 3/4 full of water with a healthy dose of calcium chloride in there, because that salt water has a lower freezing temperature than ordinary salt water or just plain tap water. Of course, it makes a hell of a mess if you run over something and puncture the tire on the tractor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's coming out under pressure. You've got a pinwheel of water while you're trying to get back to the house before it gets down to the rim.
Yeah. No, there was one time when I was coming down one of the bridges, we got called out for flash freezing of the roads, and as we're coming down the backside of this steep bridge, the traffic light at the bottom turned red. And my partner was in the left lane. He starts laying on his air horn because he can't stop.
No.
Blows through the light. Luckily, cross traffic heard the horn, saw he wasn't able to stop, and waited. I couldn't get to his lane, and there's a van stopped at the bottom of the bridge. And I just happened to remember what my CDL instructor told me. She said, if you're ever sliding and you need extra traction, she goes, you're probably going to just royally screw up that plow. She goes, but you take that lever and you drop that son of a bitch straight to the ground. Let all the tension out. I came about 2 feet from the ass end of that van with the plow. I got my partner radioing me, everything okay back there? I heard something hit. I'm like, yeah, it was the plow hitting the ground. I'll meet you up on the north end. We get up to the north end, and as I'm pulling up, he starts pulling around like he's heading back south. Where the hell are you going? We need to start salting southbound. Southbound can wait 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to get out. I'm going to check my plow. I'm going to check how much salt I have left. I'm going to check my pants.
I'm gonna shake my right pant leg for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Let your nerves get back to normal before you get back out there. Yeah.
So, but we didn't. The way we salted that bridge, luckily going back southbound, because there was a light on both sides of the bridge. We caught it green heading back south, but whenever we went over that bridge, you basically there's a little button that said blast, and you just held that down as you went over this bridge, and you went from dropping about 150 pounds of salt per lane mile to over 1,000.
Wow!
It basically turned the system on full bore. So we turned it into a gravel road.
I've done that before.
Yep.
That's also, if you're ever coming back through on shift change, if you're ever heading northbound on Klein Avenue, you can tell what exit the unit's on, because that ramp is going to be the cleanest, because everybody's trying to dump out what salt they got left.
Down here, we don't have plow trucks.
No.
We have road graders.
Road graders with rubber blades.
Nope, they don't put no rubber on them. They send them out. They send them out to do the dirt roads when they get a little bit too washboard all year round. In the wintertime, They don't put rubber blades on them. They just go, well, I guess the state's going to have to put a bunch of them little reflective mushrooms back in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Because we're going to shear those off at the pavement.
Yeah, because those are not forgiving like a plow blade is.
No.
The plow blade will ride the little hump of it for the most part.
No, those things are going, well, this is construction equipment, not emergency recovery equipment.
Mm.
We need to make the dirt roads safe for school buses. And if that means the road bed gets about a foot lower because we went over it, then the road bed gets a foot lower. It's a dirt road. It'll build back up.
Well, guys, our hour and a half's up.
Yep.
Oh, it is.
It's been fun.
Well, I think I'm gonna. After I hit the end stream, I'm gonna go down the hallway, and I will see y'all Saturday night.
All righty then. Good
I will
night.
try to be here.
All right. Say good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good
folks.
night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Oh, wrong button.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, where never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.